Hi guys, so I know it's been a while. I haven't got a video up and I promised you guys a look/review with this palette, but I have been dealing with a lot of wedding drama and have not had the time to sit down and film a video. So I'm doing it today, a week late, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try to be more on top of this. It is really hard because Josh only has one day off a week that we have to go and run errands on that day. So it's hard to get new makeup. It's hard to sit down and film. So a lot going on. I'm going to be slammed until the wedding. The wedding's in May. And yeah. But we're doing this today. So I did the swatches of the Too Faced Born This Way, the natural nudes. This was the first one they came out with. This is the lighter version. There is a darker one. I want to get it. I've just not gone to the store and purchased it. And I wanted to see the quality of this one before I purchased the other one. So the swatches look good. If you haven't seen the swatches, make sure you go and check out that video. I did all of the swatches, every single shade in this palette. And I liked a lot of the shades. So we're going to see if they perform on the eyes. Do some eyeshadow primer. I did go and buy a mirror, you guys. I ordered this and it finally showed up. You guys know I just did not have a mirror for like 3 weeks because I broke it. Like I broke the bottom, like I broke the base of the mirror. The one that I had was more plastic than this. This is a thicker plastic. And I mean, it broke beyond repair. Like my grandpa, who literally can fix anything and everything, could not fix this. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to throw it away because I can't use it. I can't find a use for it. So I'm gonna have to throw it away. And then I ordered a new one because I knew that I wouldn't really have time to go to the store and get one. And I also knew I would forget when I went to like Walmart or Ulta, I would forget to get a mirror. I would get very distracted. So I was like, I'm just going to order it. So, all right. I just dug my finger into a shade. Okay. And I don't have nails, so I can dig into this. So I'm going to go in with the shade Swan, which is a light matte shade. Just gonna do that. So I'm gonna take this brush. This is a Luxie brush 205. I like the Luxie brushes. I just don't have that many of them. I think I have like 2 or 3, and I don't have the subscription boxes anymore. So I don't get them in BoxyCharm or Ipsy or anything like that, and I don't get PR. So I only have a few of the Luxie brushes, and it's one of those things where I feel I have a lot of brushes in general. So the only way I would keep a brush is if I did get it in PR or a BoxyCharm or an Ipsy, because I don't really like buying brushes. They're very expensive. There's very few that I recommend buying if you don't get them in a subscription box. I think the only one that I live by that I will repurchase 500 times is this one. It is the Morphe 507. I know there's a 507 and a 506. Both of those are great. I use them. They're my favorites. This one and the Morphe M124 or M127. They're my favorites. Those are the only 2 brushes that I would go to the store and buy 1,000 times over if I didn't get them in a subscription box. Not to say that, you know, other brushes aren't worth it. Just for me personally, I've got a lot. So, all right. That's laid down. That went on beautifully. And one thing I do have to say that I really like so far is the fact it doesn't look like I've really dipped into this shade. It's a very flat, smooth surface instead of like a dent, if that makes sense. So it tells me it's a pretty decently pressed powder that still gives me product. Okay. So I'm very torn. Because I feel I want to do more pink. So I feel like I want to go into this light rosy tone pink. But I really like this neutral. But I think I am going to do the pink. Because I've done so many neutral looks. So, okay. Yes. See, I get product. And you can barely tell I got into the pan. Okay, that is on the lighter side. It's a little bit lighter than what I expected, if I'm gonna be honest, but I can keep going into the shade. I have really like hooded eyes, so getting a smooth application can sometimes be a little difficult, especially with product placement. It's a light pink. That's pretty. I like how I really do like how it doesn't look like I'm digging into this pan. Like I'm messing up my entire palette. It's more peachy toned than I thought it would be. I like it though. Very pretty. So let me tell y'all about this wedding drama. I wouldn't necessarily call it drama because we did get it fixed with minimal yelling. I am not a bridezilla. I am not. Josh actually wanted this wedding more than I did. I frankly was totally fine with just going to the courthouse and signing the paperwork and being done. But he wanted the wedding. He is Italian. Very Italian. And he wanted this wedding. So I was like, okay. Like, this is what you want. That's fine. So when it came to things like my bridesmaids and color choices and flowers and cake and all that, I kind of was more lenient and didn't really care much what I wanted. It was more so trying to make other people's lives easier. Okay, I like that so far. Now what I'm going to do is I might do this a couple times, but I'm going to take the shade Warm Rose and I'm going to put it on the outside of my eye to darken it up before I lay down a shimmer shade. So I'm just going to kind of tap it. I'm going to do some in the inner tip. So the girls, the only thing I was really, I guess, strict about was I wanted the same bridesmaid dress. The same color, the same style, the same dress, just for different bodies. So I actually went to the bridal shop with the girls and helped them pick out the dress together. Everyone got their dress. Everything was totally fine. And that was pretty much the only thing that I really cared deeply about. So this is gorgeous. I'm actually really impressed with this so far. So girls got their dresses. I told them I don't care what shoes you wear. I don't care if you wear makeup or not. I don't care if you wear bracelets, what jewelry you wear. I don't care how you put your hair. Just as long as it's not, really bright colors. Like, don't come into my wedding with bright blue eyeshadow or something crazy, Only thing I cared about was the dress. So that went pretty smoothly, to my surprise. So I'm putting this on the inner and outer. I'm going to end up probably covering it with a shimmer, but it is going to have a little bit of a darker base when I put down the shimmer. So, and I like this shade Warm Rose. I like this darker color. I think it goes well with the light pink called Petal, which is, I think, the name of the bridesmaid dress, actually. So, now, everything else I kind of let my mother-in-law and my mother, kind of handle. They would come to me when they needed an opinion or they wanted like an approval or whatever. Okay? I'm going to put down the shade Rose Gold, which is the bright rose gold shimmer. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to wet my brush and see how this applies with a brush. If it does not apply well with a brush, then I will use my finger. But I always try this method first because for me, I like having a little more control detail work. So the drama is Josh and I went to go get, I can tell you I am going to have to use, because it's making like a film over top. I'm gonna probably have to use my finger. Let's try it though. So Josh and I go and do a wedding cake tasting. And we weren't doing anything expensive, extravagant like a baker. We were just going to do like a Publix wedding cake because I had liked Publix cakes. So we did a tasting. Didn't really know if we liked the cake or not. I'm not liking this shade so far. It's, with a brush at least, it's kind of becoming a little bit of a pain in the patoshki. Okay, there we go. It's a little better. Maybe I just have to have a lot of water. We do the tasting, then didn't really know what we wanted to do. Wasn't a fan of, I guess, the flavors we chose. They were kind of just okay. And we just kind of left it at that because Publix they only need a 1 month notice for a wedding cake and we are 3 months ahead of schedule. I'm going to use my finger. I don't like the way this is applying with a brush. I feel like with a finger it's going to apply a little better. It does. So, we left it alone. Didn't really want to deal with it. And I find out my mother-in-law has like hijacked my wedding cake. Like she's taken over, had called Publix and was like, I need to make sure that we can get it delivered because I'm having my wedding the day before Mother's Day. So they didn't really have anyone that was available to deliver. So my mother-in-law thought it would be a good idea to call Publix and try to interfere with my wedding cake. So I freak out. Because I didn't know this, I received a phone call and they were like, you know your mother-in-law is trying to handle this wedding cake. And I'm like, what? Huh? Oh dear. Which I know she had really good intentions, but there's a cat. So, anyway, I know that she had really good intentions, but oh dear God, I was so mad. Because it could have really caused the mess up with me not knowing she was handling it. So, if you're going to handle something, let your bride know. Because I'm trying to handle it, and then you're trying to handle it, we're going to end up with 2 wedding cakes or no wedding cake at all. That's just, unfortunately, how situations work. So I'm going to try to blend this all together now. I'm going to be honest, I don't like this shade. It swatches absolutely beautifully. I don't like how it is on my eye. I feel like it looks just a little weird. Can you slide down? I feel like it just looks a little odd. But I can make it work. It's totally fine. So, that was pretty much it. I just had a little bit of some wedding drama for a couple of days here because no one really knew what the heck was going on with this wedding cake. And we still don't know what's going on with this wedding cake. I'm now just like, you know, I don't really want any involvement now because I feel I'm not needed. If you think you can get the wedding cake there in one piece, go for it. I love the woman. I love her with all of my heart. But I feel that sometimes she overworks herself. And I know that she's just trying to be helpful. Now, why is this not going on this eye? What is going on with this weird shade? It's like now it's not sticking to my eye. Am I crazy? Let's try this again. The heck? This rose gold shade's like really soft, but now it's not wanting to stick on my eyeball. There we go. So yeah, Josh's mom is a sweetheart and she tries really, really hard. Bless her heart. She just sometimes overworks herself and then I don't get notified about my wedding cake and it's like, what is going on? Yeah, this is a weird shade. It's pretty, but it's very odd on the eyes. And I am digging more into this to get product. It's got like a dent in it because I can't maneuver it. I mean, I think I got enough on there. I feel like I'm just like spreading this. Let's try this again. Okay, I mean, that's fine. So anyway, you guys, it's been eventful. No matter what, it will be all right. As long as Josh shows up and I show up. I think that's really all I care about. Never had a shade give me this much trouble with it being as soft as it is. Okay, we're rolling with this. Okay, I am gonna add more of the shade Warm Rose on the outside, just like a little tap. So far I like the mattes a little more than the shimmer, but I've only used one, so. Alright, put on some mascara and color. So I ended up using 4 colors in this palette. I will play around. Maybe I'll do another video with like the lighter side and see what that has going for it. We'll see. So far, I mean, I do like it. Just that one particular shade for some reason doesn't want to work with my eyes. And it's not very shiny. Like at all. That's odd. I think this mascara is about used up, about time to retire. See, once the mascara goes on, I feel like the look definitely does look a little better. I mean, yeah, that's pretty. Let's add, okay. Let's actually go back. Let's add Glistening Snow. Let's add this sparkle just a little bit. Just a little extra, you know? Can never have too much sparkle. Just a little. Alright. Alright, you guys. So that is it. Pumbaa is still sitting right here. what can you do? When you have cats, it's always eventful. So that is it for this video. I will play around with this a little bit more. I might do another video with the lighter shades, and we will see, because this was a potential wedding palette, but I do not particularly like this rose gold shade. So I'm going to play around with it and see what else I can come up with. So that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and my lovely little story time. But that is it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.